After a master passed away 300 years or 500 years maximum, that is the final age of any teaching. If you don't see another master appear in that area, in that era, this is final. Okay. But luckily we always have. It's just that it might not happen in that lineage. So you might think, oh, Buddha's gone forever. The teaching and the lineage of the spiritual power of any master is like a river. Sometimes it's hidden under the earth somewhere and you thought this is the end of the river. No. It will seep out somewhere and then appear again. So it's just like that. Any of the religious people should look where the river reappear and do not be attached to a location of the original river. Because in all age, all religious branch, there will always be a master somewhere. And not be in the same lineage, not be in the same religious order, but there will be a master for the world. For our world, yes. And even in hell, there is a master called Kristigaba Bodhisattva. He will stay there forever. Because he vowed, before he became enlightened, he vowed that he will save all the people in hell. He vowed that he will stay there forever until the hell are empty. All hells are empty. He said, if all hell's not empty, he will not take on the Buddha's position or fruit. He won't become Buddha if all hells are not empty. So he continued to stay in hell to teach the hell beings, whoever he can teach. Whomever still has enough, a little bit of spiritual inclination, he will teach them. And then slowly he bring others also to the understanding of the truth. And then continue further teaching, and then release their karma, or because of that, their karma will be lessened or cleansed, and then they can reincarnate as a human being or a diva or asura, and then continue further. That is Kristigaba. All kinds of religion, they all teach us to be good. Just not all of the followers doing according to the religion. That's why we have problems. Even inside the religion, they also think mine is better, yours is no good. That's why I tell you, centers should not compete with each other for anything at all. Should live in peace and harmony. We should be the example of peace and tolerance. Do you understand? Yes. Not fighting for position, no matter what. Okay? Contact person have to be sincerely just to serve the initiates in his term or her term. To do all the best just to make them comfortable, feeling loved, feeling welcome in the center. If you keep bickering, then the center will have a hole or many holes. And that's where the negative can come in and make it worse and worse. Do you understand that? Yes. Every center or you have a protective layers of light. But if you quarrel or if you hate, you perpetuate hatred, then no, it makes holes in these protective layers. And then bad thing will come through these holes and trouble your life or trouble your group, or your family. You must know that. Everything negative, every hatred, every discord, put holes in your protective layers, small or big, accordingly. Sometimes the hole will repair quickly, depends on how grave is the, situation or the quarrel or the hatred. But sometimes the hole is bigger, take long time to build. If can rebuild by love again. Understand? Love is the component to heal all ills. Remember? Yes. That's from the goddess of love, self, herself, her exact.
So I don't understand the part of us that reincarnates, the ego or the personality, the part of us that reincarnates. Where the soul is still in heaven, isn't it? And I guess I don't understand.
It depends. The soul can also be in hell.
Okay. Yeah, so the ego, the personality just controls where the soul goes. It makes a mistake and the soul just has to go along sort of as a prisoner, or does the soul make some decisions there?
Okay. If the soul is stronger, if you have access to the higher level of the soul, the soul in different levels, it's a continuation of soul. It's not like the soul just sitting somewhere. Yes. So this soul can be accessed to, if the mind wants it. But the mind is always going between. Don't let you access to your higher self. So if you practice Kuan Yin method, then even though your personality is still almost the same, your ego probably get less, and the mind will be more subdued, and then the soul can be connected together from different levels, not like choppy from the fifth and then chop and then the fourth and chop and no connection, no whole soul. Okay?
So what if the ego chooses to do something really, really bad and the soul has to go down into hell?
Yeah.
It's just, the soul is just stuck by the choices of the ego?
Have to, you connect it with the body, so it has to bear consequences. That means the master of the house has no control over the household and has to bear the consequence. You see? Yeah.
So how does it ever come to the point where the ego says, I'm going to start doing practice?
The ego won't ever do that.
Yeah.
You just have to practice more and then learn from experience or from sheer willpower or spiritual power to subdue it, the ego. Then the cell will be gone. The physical cell or the ego cell, you just have no more room to exist in your life. And then the soul will take more control and make better decision, and then better all the time.
So just regular people, not disciples, does their soul influence anything, or is the soul just caught by whatever the ego does?
No, the soul tries to influence all the time. It's just the ego or the habits is, and the mind listen to the ego and the habit. And the soul sometimes have to get out of the body in order to rest from this struggle. That's why you sleep, you're tired. Yeah? If you practice meditation, then it get better all the time. The ego don't always get better with spiritual practice alone. It has to sometimes be trimmed by worldly disaster, a personal disaster and trouble, and by other people, or some unpleasant event, and then you get more humble. That means ego less and less, okay? Therefore, welcome trouble and disaster with open arms. These are the sharp.
Why would it be detrimental to our spiritual progress to use spiritual power to cure other illness? As is stated in the initial registration form, I am a Reiki practitioner and very interested in further spiritual progress. จะเป็นการทำให้เสียไปไหมหรือว่าทำให้จิตใจของเราเนี่ยพัฒนาน้อยลงไหมถ้าสมมุติว่าเราใช้พลังของเราในการที่จะรักษาโรคเพราะว่ามีกล่าวไว้ในการประทับจิตว่าเราไม่ควรจะรักษานะฮะเขาบอกว่าเขาเนี่ยเป็นผู้บำเพ็ญทางด้านไรกิแล้วก็สนใจมากที่จะมีการพัฒนาในทางด้านจิตวิญญาณ
It is because we are leaking our power instead of preserving it until we reach Buddhahood, and then we can heal without healing. Heal without hands, without having to lay hands on people. Heal without even people have to tell you about that illness. Heal without even knowing that you heal people. That's the highest healing.
อาจารย์บอกว่าการรักษาผู้คนโดยใช้พลังนั่นนะเหมือนกับว่าทำให้พลังของเราเนี่ยรั่วออกจากตัวเราสิ่งที่ดีที่สุดเนี่ยคือเราจะต้องขึ้นไปถึงระดับพุทธะก่อนถึงตอนนั้นเนี่ยเราจะสามารถรักษาโรคได้โดยที่ไม่จำเป็นจะต้องทำท่ารักษาด้วยซ้ำอันนี้แหละคือการรักษาที่สูงสุด
You can heal if you want to waste your power before you attain it.
เราจะสามารถรักษาโรคก็ได้นะแต่ว่าจะเป็นการสูญเสียพลังงานของเรามากก่อนที่เราจะไปถึงระดับพุทธะ
But if you want to attain the Buddhahood, attain the state of healing without healing, then you must conserve it first.
แต่ถ้าสมมติเราต้องการจะไปถึงจุดระดับสูงสุดคือรักษาได้โดยที่ไม่ต้องรักษาจริงๆเนี่ยนะฮะอันนั้นแหละคือจุดสูงสุดอย่าเพิ่งไปรักษาเขาโดยใช้พลังของเรา
A Kuan Yin practitioner, after sometimes of practice, can heal people who has affinity with him, even 1,000 miles away, even don't even know each other. No need to lay hands on them or do anything.
สำหรับผู้ที่บำเพ็ญธรรมวิถีกวนอิมเนี่ยนะเขาสามารถจะรักษาโรคได้แม้กระทั่งคนนั้นเนี่ยคนที่เป็นโรคเนี่ยอยู่ห่างจากเขาเป็นพันไมล์นะฮะโดยที่ไม่จำเป็นจะต้องยกมือไปโดนตัวร่างกายของคนที่ป่วยนั้นด้วยซ้ำ
So it's not that I forbid you to use spiritual power to heal people. I just want to show you a greater way of healing.
เพราะฉะนั้นไม่ใช่ว่าอาจารย์จะห้ามไม่ให้เรารักษาโรคโดยใช้พลังจิต
So sometimes you pray, but it's not too good. You don't know how to pray. So in a way it's good, but it's bad. For example, like that, you know. Anytime it's sometimes there's trouble somewhere because you want me to go somewhere else, and I have to go. And if I don't want to go, then something there, and then I go. For example, like that, eh? Yeah. Otherwise, I just stay in Taiwan forever, and nobody will see me anywhere else. For example, eh? So before you pray, think, okay? Think of whether your prayer is really good or is it selfish. Prayer have effect, eh? Make sure what you want is really good for everybody. Because everything you pray, I have to do it, Sometimes if I meditate more, it's better for you, better for the world. It's not like if I see you, it's better for you. It's not necessary all the time. Not necessary, yeah? We always connected. I never feel like I'm far away from you. Why do you feel you're far away from me? No matter I sit here or I sit in a cave, I never feel that I'm separated from you. Why do you feel separate? Why do you need to see me? Yeah? There is two things in life you have to separate. The thing necessary and the thing that you desire. The necessary thing is good. Have to happen, have to have. The thing you desire, you have it good, you don't have it, okay. The thing necessary, okay, we should have. The thing we desire, you have to separate from that. Even if you want to see me today, tomorrow, next year, how long will my physical body last? So, I'm in here, huh? I'm in here. The best that you are with me all the time, 24 hours. That means you meditate, you be good, you treat others well, you remember God. And that's it. That's how we're together. We look into the same direction, Remember they say love is not looking into each other's eyes, but look into the same direction. That is very correct. So long as we do the same thing, we think the same thing, we always together. And later we are together all the time, forever. Huh? We have to help the world to evolve higher, to join other evolved galaxies, and thereby also help ourselves to elevate. That's the best thing. That is the best union with me. Right. Otherwise, you come here, you sit